And
Put me in jail. We gotta live with SARS. We gotta live with the anthrax.
Clive Davis usually throws the biggest party the night before the Grammys, but tonight the mood was somber. Whitney Houston died in a room in this very hotel earlier today.
Did you know that there was a secret about Diddy and Bobby Brown Whitney Houston died with? Her chaotic marriage to Bobby Brown and ties to the music industry's most secretive circles tell a deeper story.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Well, this party, I think half the people there were in. You would have loved it.
From drug-fueled parties to unsettling rumors of ritualistic gatherings, Whitney's world often collided with Diddy's fast-lane empire. Bobby Brown, known for his wild behavior and drug use, was part of the same party scene Diddy dominated.
And in the report, didn't it say she had blood on the pillow and bruises or something like that? The case needs to be reopened, man.
And now, as Diddy faces serious allegations, people are finally looking back and asking, what did Whitney know? And why did she keep it hidden? Many people know Bobby Brown as the bad boy of R&B, and Diddy as the flashy boss of hip-hop.
This for my niggas slinging things, hammer ringing king, struck necklace, igloo ringing.
But what many don't know is that these two stars share more than just fame. Their connection goes beyond music. It's tied to parties, power, pain, and people around them. When we look closely, their paths cross in ways that show how messy and connected the music world can be. Bobby and Diddy were surrounded by the same powerful people in the music business. Back in the late 1980s and early 1990s, Bobby was already a big star. He had hit songs, wild concerts, and fans all over the world. At the same time, young Sean Diddy Combs was learning the business at Uptown Records under Andre Harrell. Bobby was with MCA Records, but he still moved in the same party and music circles. They both performed at the same events, especially BT shows and music industry parties. People like Clive Davis, Louisiana. Reed and Andre Harrell worked closely with both of them. Bobby was known for living fast. He had wild parties, did drugs, and had a lot of drama in public. People saw Bobby as the original wild man of R&B. Later on, Diddy's Bad Boy label would build its image around that same energy. Bobby once said in interviews that he was in rooms with all kinds of people, rappers, music bosses, even politicians. He didn't say names, but many believe he was talking about the same secretive parties where Diddy and others showed up. These parties were not just for fun, they were places where deals were made, secrets were shared, and lines were crossed. Bobby and Diddy were rich, famous, and loved the spotlight. But their lives also had a dark side. Bobby was known for his drug problems, crazy performances on stage, and wild behavior.
These cigarettes kill more people every day than any terrorist I've ever seen on television.
On television? You ain't seen him on television?
Yes, I have.
Who, you?
George Bush.
He had a kind of raw, unpredictable energy. That same kind of behavior later became common in artists who worked with Diddy, like the notorious Biggie, Ma Dollar E, and others from Bad Boy Records. Bobby seemed like the model that others copied. He showed that being out of control could still make you popular in the music world. Whitney Houston, Bobby's ex-wife, also threw big Hollywood parties.
Put me in jail. We gotta live with SARS. We gotta live with the anthrax.
Her parties were famous too. And just like Diddy's, they had big stars, music people, and business execs. Many of the same people now being talked about in Diddy's legal case were seen at Whitney's parties too. These people include top names like Clive Davis and L.A. Reid. They had connections to Diddy and the music business. These parties were not just for fun. Some say they were places where very bad things happened, behind closed doors.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Well, this party, I think half the people there were in. You would have loved it.
Even though Bobby has never said Diddy hurt anyone, many people from his world have spoken up. They talk about strange and scary things that happened at those elite parties. Some called them rituals. These were not just parties with music and dancing. They included drugs, control, and sometimes abuse. One person who spoke up is Jaguar Wright.
This nigga been wild. Like, you know.
She used to be in the music world and has been open about what she saw. She said Diddy might have used a drug so powerful it made victims forget everything. The drug could numb pain and memory. That's why some people don't remember what happened to them. It's very serious if true. Experts warn that using drugs like this can be very dangerous. Dr. Brian Hurley, a doctor who works with people who have drug problems.
In the United States, but I think this is also true really across the globe, addiction is primarily conceptualized as a social problem. We oftentimes punish people with substance use disorders.
He said when people take strong mixtures of drugs, they might act in strange and unpredictable ways. They might do things they would never do if they were sober. Their sense of reality becomes twisted. This kind of drug use can destroy lives, and if someone uses it to control others, it's even worse. Things got even more serious when Cassie, a singer and Diddy's ex-girlfriend, spoke up during the trial.
Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura has been the star witness at his trial.
She shocked everyone with her words. Cassie said Diddy made her take part in something called freak-offs. These were wild events that could last for days. She said she had to stay awake the whole time. There was no time for rest or normal life. She was always recovering from partying. She said these parties felt like a job. A dark, scary job where she used drugs, drank alcohol, and had sex with strangers. She said it made her feel empty and tired all the time.
Cassie Ventura said she would give that $20 million settlement back if she never had to do freak-offs again. That was one point where she really started crying.
Then came a strong message from legal expert Greg Jarrett on Fox News.
Of appalling physical abuse by Sean Combs as prosecutors portrayed him as a monster who controlled people and plied them with drugs, threats, money, brandishing guns.
He said prosecutors called Diddy a manipulative criminal. They said he used drugs to control people and made them do things they didn't want to do. He even used threats, guns, and money to keep control. In court, a video was shown where Diddy hit his girlfriend. Jarrett said the jurors were shocked to hear stories about physical abuse, fear, and control. He said Diddy was like a monster, making people do acts on camera at those freak-offs. It sounded more like horror than music entertainment. All of this paints a very dark picture of what fame and power can hide. It seems Diddy's parties were not just about fun. They had a scary, twisted side. What happens to Diddy now is something only time will tell. But the people who have spoken up want the truth to come out. Bobby once said something very sad about his life with Whitney Houston. He said, "Nobody could police Whitney. She did what she wanted." This means no one could stop her from using drugs or making harmful choices. Bobby also shared that their daughter, Bobby Christina, saw her parents high on drugs many times. He said he felt very guilty about it. He knew they had failed her as parents. Drugs, fighting, and bad choices hurt their family badly.
Hardest thing I had to do in my life was tell my daughter to let go.
Bobby talked about how angry he would get with Whitney. He shouted at her and told her he wanted to leave many times. But they stayed together. Their fights were bad, and their drug use was worse. Their daughter suffered the most. Later, Bobby said he felt very sorry for everything. Even though they had a lot of love, their problems were too big. A friend of the family once said they had a Bonnie and Clyde kind of love. That means they stuck together through everything, even when they were hurting each other. In Bobby's book, he wrote about their love and pain, but love alone couldn't fix what was broken. Things just kept getting worse. Whitney also went through domestic violence. In 2003, Bobby was arrested for hitting her. But in a 1999 interview, Whitney said, "I do the hitting." That confused a lot of people. Was she also violent, or was she trying to protect Bobby? No one really knows what went on behind their closed doors. Both deaths were ruled as natural, but many people believe that's not the full truth. There are too many strange details, and people who knew them say things don't add up. That's why some believe there might be a deeper story, maybe even a hidden plan or cover-up. While for Kim Porter, who was Sean Diddy, the longtime partner. In 2018, Kim was found dead at her home in Los Angeles. The report said she died from pneumonia, but people who were close to her said the way she was found didn't match that story. Some said Kim was found on the bathroom floor, not peacefully in bed like the report said. They also mentioned there was blood and a trail from the bed to the bathroom. That made people wonder, how could someone with just pneumonia end up like that?
Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, is found dead at 47. E! News can confirm that the model and actress who dated Sean Diddy Combs for 13 years was found dead at her home in Los Angeles.
Al B. Sure, a singer who once dated Kim and stayed close with her, said Kim was very worried before she died. He claimed she told him she didn't feel safe. She kept notes, either in a diary, on her phone, or her laptop. She was trying to protect herself by keeping records of things that were going on, especially things involving Diddy. But after she died, all her notes and files were gone. Her phone and laptop were wiped clean. Al B. Sure, believed this wasn't by accident. He believed someone did it to hide something. Al also said Kim once told him, "If anything happens to me, don't believe it was just an accident." He believes Kim had information that could hurt powerful people. He also claimed that someone changed the first doctor who looked at her body. He believes this was done to control the story the public would hear. That's why he keeps speaking out. He wants people to ask questions and demand a closer look at Kim's death. He doesn't think justice has been served yet. Another person who spoke out is Gene Deal.
Dallas Austin's daughter, according to Kim's father, was the woman that left her house at 8:15. So she was the last person, according to her, to see Kim alive.
He used to work closely with Diddy as a bodyguard. Gene said he saw things that didn't seem right. He remembered hearing fights between Kim and Diddy. He said Diddy would lock Kim in a room, and he could hear her crying and begging for it to stop. But none of this was in the police reports. Nobody really looked into it. Diddy was never questioned or charged. Gene thinks this is wrong. He believes that people in power were protected, and Kim's side of the story was ignored.
And in the report, didn't it say she had blood on the pillow and bruises or something like that? The case needs to be reopened, man.
Now, let's talk about Whitney. She was one of the most loved singers in the world. Her voice was powerful, and she had many hits, but her personal life was full of trouble. Problems with drugs, and a difficult marriage. In 2012, Whitney was found dead in a hotel bathtub. It happened just hours before a big party hosted by music executive Clive Davis, who had helped her career. The strange thing is, Clive didn't cancel the party. He held it in the same hotel, even while Whitney's body was still upstairs. Many people thought this was cold and heartless.
Clive Davis usually throws the biggest party the night before the Grammys, but tonight the mood was somber. Whitney Houston died in a room in this very hotel earlier today.
After Whitney died, her music sales went way up. Her albums made millions. Some people believe Clive Davis already knew this would happen. They think her death brought more money than she had made in the last years of her life. There are even people who believe the party was not just bad timing, but part of something planned. It sounds wild, but when someone dies and others quickly make money, people start to wonder if there was a reason behind it. Whitney had been spending time with a singer named Ray J before she died. He was much younger than her. Some people said Ray J knew more than he was saying. He later gave an interview where He said he blamed himself for what happened to Whitney, but he didn't give details. Around the same time, he was seen on a TV show with a woman who had fought with Whitney in public. That made the situation even more strange and suspicious to some people. 3 years later, Whitney's daughter, Bobby Christina, was also found unconscious in a bathtub. She never woke up and died after several months in a coma. Her boyfriend, Nick Gordon, was blamed by many. Some said he gave her drugs. Nick was never charged, but later he also died from a drug overdose.
He knows what happened. I don't know what happened that night, but he does.
These back-to-back deaths in the same way, both in bathtubs, shocked people. Some felt it was too similar to be just a coincidence. It made people believe the same darkness that surrounded Whitney also hurt her daughter. Sean Diddy Combs was not directly linked to Whitney or her daughter, but people say the same things happened around him and his circle. Fear, control, secrets, and pain. Now that Diddy is facing court cases and public questions about his past, people are looking back. They're asking, was Kim Porter trying to speak up before she died? Were other women hurt too? Was there something bigger going on? Just 2 days before Whitney died, something strange happened. At a press conference, she surprised everyone by walking in, while Brandy, Monica, Clive Davis, and Ray J were being interviewed. Whitney looked unwell. She was sweating a lot, seemed confused, and was talking in a strange way. Many people noticed that something wasn't right. But the most shocking part came when Whitney walked over to Brandy and handed her a folded piece of paper. She whispered something, but no one could hear what she said. The cameras caught the moment. Brandy looked surprised, opened the note for a second, and then quickly folded it and kept it.
Okay, and 12 today is for you. 12 today. I have to.
Since that day, people have asked Brandy many times what the note said, but Brandy refuses to tell. She told a reporter that she would never share the message. She said it was personal and she wanted to keep it to herself. Brandy said, "Every step I make, I'm just going to do my best to make her proud." That's all she would say. Because she never opened up about the note, people started making guesses. Some think it was a goodbye letter. Others say it might have been a warning. Maybe Whitney felt something bad was going to happen and wanted to say something without speaking out loud. Some fans believe Whitney was scared. They think she knew something wasn't right around her. Some even believe she was trying to protect Brandy or tell her to stay away from certain people. These thoughts led to many theories. What was in that note? Why was Brandy so shocked? Why did Whitney act so strangely just before she died? On the same day Whitney gave Brandy the note, her behavior was concerning. She seemed confused and tired. She had scratches on her arms and cuts on her legs. She was seen arguing with people and acting in a way that didn't seem normal for her. Some people who were close to her said she looked like she needed help. Just 2 days later, she was found dead in her hotel room. Ray J, who was Brandy's brother and a close friend, or possibly more, to Whitney, was also involved in this strange story. He was one of the last people seen with Whitney before she died.
I'm really emotional right now. I really don't know really what to say. But what I will say is that I love and I'm hurt.
Some reports said he was turned away when he tried to enter her hotel room after she died. But other people say he was there earlier than the official reports show. That made people ask, what was Ray J really doing that day? The hotel where Whitney died, the Beverly Hilton, is known for being very secure. They have cameras everywhere. But on the day Whitney died, there were missing videos, what people now call gaps, in the security footage. How could this happen in such a secure hotel? This raised more questions. If the cameras weren't working, was someone trying to hide something? Was someone making sure the truth didn't come out? There were also rumors that Ray J and Clive Davis had plans to keep Ray away from Whitney the week before she died. Some people think this was done so Ray wouldn't look suspicious if anything bad happened. A few even believe that Ray J secretly went to Whitney's room, let in dangerous people, and something terrible happened to her there. They say the room was made to look like she took her own life, but that's not what really happened. Ray J was also said to get something out of this. Some people believe he got paid after Whitney died and used that money to restart his own career. A few years later, he gave an interview where he seemed very emotional about Whitney's death. He said he blamed himself for what happened. He didn't go into details, but he said he carried guilt. He also said he had chances to make money by telling secrets about Whitney's death, but he refused. He said, "It's not good money. My karma would be bad."
It's all my fault.
What?
It's all my fault. All of that happened?
No, that's not.
No.
What do you mean?
And having done it now, this is my second
Just was
time.
my fault.
I can't work out how to be.
I wasn't there. But we'll talk later.
That sentence shocked many people. Fans asked, what does he mean by karma? Why would talking about it bring him bad luck? This made even more people believe that Ray J knew something he wasn't telling. Some even say that Whitney's ghost might be haunting him because of what happened. Ray J told someone named Stacy during a reality show that he felt everything was his fault. He didn't say exactly what he did, but the way he talked made people more curious. He kept saying he couldn't talk about it and that it hurt too much. He acted like someone who had a heavy secret but couldn't share it. All these things, the secret note, the missing video footage, the strange behavior, and the big party, have made people feel that Whitney's death was not just an accident. Many believe there is more to the story, and that those close to her might know what really happened.